everyone, and thank you again for joining us here at Leaders Uncut. It is my great pleasure today to have with us Dr. Behzad Mahdavi, who is going to speak about a lot of things that he's doing right now, including a book that is called Mastering Commercial Innovation, Creating Profitable Growth from Ideas. Welcome, Behzad. It's so great to have you today with us.
No, thank you very much, Catherine. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. I'm looking forward to sharing insight from my book with your audience.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm thrilled, of course, that you're here. You're a renowned expert in commercial innovation, author of the book that I just mentioned. Can you speak about your background? You've had quite an impressive journey in innovation. So if you could share a little bit about this, I think that would be wonderful.
Yeah, with pleasure. So, I have been working in commercial innovation and creation and implementation of growth strategies for over 25 years now, and it has been a really exciting ride. I have the opportunity to work with the companies of all sizes, from a startup to industry giants, and I have held various executive roles, including CEO, board chairman, advisor, investors, and anything between. Throughout my careers, I have advised hundreds of companies and leaders, evaluated thousands of innovation and growth ideas, and developed what I call the commercial innovation triangle. So what is the commercial innovation triangle? It's a framework that aligns the technology, market needs, and the financial viability to create innovations that deliver profitable and sustainable growth. I developed it through my own experience working with companies and realizing that many of them were struggling to turn their innovative ideas into successful product or services, or working on wrong project from initial stage because of lack of the proper selection and elimination of innovation project. I saw that there was a need for a more structured, but at the same time practical and agile approach to innovation, one that would help companies focus on the right projects and execute them effectively.
And that's so important. I see that all the time. Companies struggling with that. They think they understand innovation, yet they don't have a real process that they feel good about following. So that's really really fascinating. What inspired you to write this book?
So this is a great question. So I have had, colleagues and friends refer to my approach as a magical touch, because many of the projects I have worked on have made it successfully to commercialization. But I'll always tell them there is no magic. It's all about following a disciplined process for selection, as you said, of the right projects initially, and then execute them efficiently. So I have had the colleagues and the friends that refer to my approach as a magical touch, because many of the projects I have worked on have made it successfully to commercialization. But I always tell them there is no magic. It's all about following a disciplined process for selection of the right projects initially, and then execute them efficiently. With this book, I wanted to break down the process and make it accessible to a wider audience in an easy and pragmatical way. I hope readers will learn how to select the right projects, bring them to market effectively, and create a meaningful innovation that makes a real impact on the society.
Yeah, I think the format is very different. Obviously, it takes you through a journey that is a lot more memorable. So you have a very unique book. It's written as a novel, right? Tell us, what did you choose that approach?
Yeah, this is a very good question. So I wanted the book to be practical, engaging, and accessible to a wide audience, from the CEOs and CTOs to any employee involved in the innovation process, including university students who will form the next generation of innovation leaders. By writing it as a novel, readers can follow the journey of Kevin Stilwell, a fictional commercial innovation consultant, the main character of the book, as he navigates real-world challenges inspired by the real cases in turning innovation into profit. So through Kevin experiences, readers will see the ups and downs of creating a profitable innovation and learn how to apply the principle and tools I have developed to their own work, and they turn innovation from a cost center to a growth engine. At the end of each chapter, specific questions are provided to help readers tailor their learning to their unique situations.
I love it. I mean, real life cases, there's nothing better than that to describe something that you're doing that maybe or very often could seem out of hand, out of reach, and too difficult to implement. So that gives a lot of perspective and practical steps that people can more easily implement. So that's great. So let's dive into the book. Many people think innovation is just about generating new ideas, but your book challenges this, doesn't it?
Absolutely. A common misconception is the innovation is all about idea generation. While ideas are important, the reality and elephant in the room is that over 97% of ideas never make it to market, even if the ideas are good. The issue isn't a lack of ideas, it's about turning the right ideas into profitable product or services. And that is exactly I try to address in this book. Without a clear selection and execution process, companies with more ideas just risk spreading resources too thin and slowing progress towards commercialization. For example, I remember in one struggling business unit of a large organization, they had difficulty to generate revenues from their innovation portfolio, despite important number of the projects and the people. So we applied my methodology, and we have been able to eliminate 62% of projects and reshaping the portfolio with less and higher quality number of projects. And this strategic focus completely transformed the business unit future positively, of course.
I love it. Isn't that incredible when you have a recipe, how everything works suddenly so much better, right?
Absolutely. That's really the focus is.
So you also highlight the distinction between normal innovation and commercial innovation. Could you explain?
Definitely. This is a very important to understand the difference. Normal innovation is about creating something new, whatever is a groundbreaking idea, product, or services. Commercial innovation, however, ensures that this innovation meets market needs and deliver financial returns. To illustrate the difference between two, it's like comparing a show horse to a racehorse. Both are exceptional in their own right, but they excel in entirely different arenas. A show horse is admired for its elegance and precision, but isn't built for speed. Conversely, a racehorse is bred for competition and velocity, but won't captivate an audience in the show ring. So similarly, innovation projects must be handled accordingly to their unique nature. Treating a commercial innovation project like a scientific one can result in endless delays and missed opportunities, and conversely, attempting to commercialize something that lack commercial viability waste valuable resources. That's why I have developed a rigorous process explained in the book to evaluate and correctly categorize innovation projects in these two categories by aligning with its proper pathway. Then we can unlock their full potential and avoid costly misstep.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, you save, I'm sure, a lot of time and money to companies who are innovators and innovating when you have this type of process, for sure. So in your book, Behzad, so you address innovation both at the project level and the company level. Could you elaborate on that distinction and how you approach it?
Absolutely. The book focuses on innovation at two levels, the project level and the organizational level, as you described. At the project level is about selecting the right projects, how to assess ideas, prioritize them, and execute effectively to ensure they move from concept to successful market entry. But this is only part of the equation. At the organizational level, we dive into the structure, mindset, and culture a company needs to support innovation. What kind of the leadership and decision-making processes are required? How should the team be structured to foster collaboration and efficiency? How do you create a portfolio of innovation projects that aligns with short, mid, and long-term strategic goals and ensures a smooth chain of valorization from ideas generation to the commercialization? These are the type of the question that we are addressing at the organizational level. The reason is why it is so important is simple. You could have the best innovation project in the world, but if you place it in the hands of the wrong organization with poor execution capabilities or culture, the outcome will likely fall short.
Yeah, I mean, leadership is critical here. You can have a great plan, but if you don't have the right management, that's definitely an issue.
Correct, absolutely.
Yeah.
But also the mindset is very important.
The mindset is also very important. I mean, this is part of a lot of overall qualities a team has to have. Yes, for sure. So your book begins by identifying what's wrong at both the project and the company levels and highlighting how to identify these gaps. I love how you use golf analogies to explain your concept. It's very creative. Can you share more about that?
Of course, golf is an excellent metaphor for innovation. If the ball represents your innovation project, the goal is to get it into the hole. That is equivalent to turn your idea into a marketable product or services with the fewest stroke or effort possible. Simple in concept, but tricky in execution. So I use this parallel to help companies identify their gaps and the weakest point of a failure. First, think about the green and the flag on a golf course. This represents your market, your customers, and their needs. So if you don't know where the flag is, you are swinging blindly, just driving the ball with no clear direction. In innovation, that is like working on a project without a clear understanding of the market or customers' requirement. Next, you have to pick the right club. In golf, choosing the wrong club could mean falling short or overshooting the green. In innovation, the club is your technology or your process. For example, if you choose the wrong technology, like a non-scalable platform to develop a therapy, as example, it doesn't matter, how great your therapy is, it won't commercially succeed.
Right.
Because you have chosen the wrong platform. Then there are hazards, in the golf course. Golf has sand traps, water hazards, and trees. In innovation, the hazards are technical issues, market resistance, or internal challenges. To navigate these successfully, you need a skilled and adaptable team that knows how to work through obstacles. So the question is, do you have the right team? One that's not only able to handle difficulties, but skills enough to put the ball in the hole when it matters most. And maybe finally, let's talk also about the course itself. Is it too hard for your current skills? Because sometimes in innovation, you might tackle a market or a challenge that is too ambitious for your resources or expertise. It's like playing on a championship course when you are still a beginner. So it can be overwhelming and counterproductive. So innovation, like golf, I can say that isn't about taking one perfect shot. It's about strategy. It's about understanding the course, choosing the right tools, and navigating each challenge deliberately and effectively. And if you do it well, you will see innovation land right where it belongs. It means in the hole at the commercial scale.
I love it. It's a great analogy that really would stick in my mind, when I think about strategy and the obstacles and the process and the tools. It's a wonderful analogy. I love it. So let's talk about what you call the TMF framework. You introduced that process called the TMF process and framework. How does that work?
So TMF stands for Technology, Market, and Finance. It's an agile framework that aligns these three pillars from the start. If any one pillar is weak, the entire project risks a failure. So that's why we are focusing on these three pillars in the book. Unlike traditional stage gate models, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the stage gate, but is kind of the steps-wise process with a go, no go decisions. Mm-hmm. TMF is much more flexible. It allows teams to prioritize tasks based on what is easiest and cheapest way to validate, be it a technical or commercial, to get to the destination. And this approach accelerates promising projects while quickly eliminates a non-viable one from very early steps in the process.
Okay, understood. And that's very important because I know that cost is always an issue and a concern. Yes. When people start implementing processes like that, right? They are, of course, wary about this. Your book also touches on the importance of organizational structures. Could you elaborate on that? I think that's something very important to touch on.
Yeah, absolutely. So innovation doesn't happen in isolation. It requires the right organization, structure, culture, and mindset to truly thrive. A company needs a well-balanced value chain that spans from research and development all the ways through the commercialization. The problem is many organizations excel in one area but fall short in others. For example, a company might have exceptional R&D teams creating groundbreaking technologies, but if they lack the capabilities to scale or commercialize those innovation, the impact is minimal. It's like a golfer with a fantastic swing but poor putting skills. No matter how well you drive the ball, the game isn't won until the ball is in the hole, as we said in previously. Mm-hmm. So the same applies to innovation. You need the full spectrum of skill across the entire value chain, well balanced to succeed. Maybe to give you one practical example, a large pharma company consulted me a few years ago, and they invested heavily in the R&D innovation, but then they couldn't see the revenue coming proportionally with their investment, and they were asking, what's wrong with that? And normally in the innovation, the value chain is defined by the weakest point in this area. So if you see something like that, it means that there is a restriction point in your value chain. And we look at this carefully, and in this example, the restriction actually was outside of the organization, and it came from the lack of the capabilities to recruit the patient for the clinical studies. And then the solution was either to solve this issue and make it basically eliminate the restriction, or basically reduce the investment in order to match it with this weakest point. So that's a practical example I give you about the importance of the whole organization and value chain versus just looking at a project level.
And I think that's important too. I think what's also, I'd like to add to that, because a lot of people at least they think they can do it all, that they can resolve all their problems. But when you have somebody externally like you, first of all, you bring a fresh view on everything that's going on. But you also bring your expertise in a lot of those areas that you just mentioned, which is very important.
No, correct. Absolutely. So I think sometimes fresh eyes are good, actually, in an innovation project, because sometimes we fell in love with the projects, and this external eyes can help. But the other aspect also you mentioned in terms of the willing to do everything ourselves, that's also another danger. And to make this value chain, you don't need necessarily to build that yourself, and the partnership concept and the strategies come into play on how to complete that with a minimum of effort and cost.
For sure. Wow. Well, you provided a lot of information here that is extremely valuable to business owners and entrepreneurs and people who have great ideas but not the right roadmap for a successful implementation. So that was very beneficial, Behzad. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Yeah, so I always ask my guests any final thoughts or parting words that you would like to leave my audience with as we wrap this up.
No, maybe just to say, commercial innovation has one clear goal, market the success to generate profit. Getting there requires a sharper strategy, flexibility, resilience, and a commitment to learning. Whether you are leading a startup or a Fortune 500 companies, the principle in my book are your blueprint for turning innovation into short, mid, and long-term profitable success. And like golf, you will face both smooth holes and tough shots. The secret: keep refining your game by learning new methods, stay focused, and always keep your eyes on the prize.
That's great, great advice and very wise words that we all need to remember. So that was wonderful. Thank you so very much, Behzad. That was just great to have you here on the show today. It's been very enlightening.
Thank you, Catherine, and it has been an absolute pleasure.
All right. Well, thank you again. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope and I'm sure you enjoyed my conversation with Behzad here. Share on your network because he's sharing some critical information about what companies need to do when they innovate, the processes we need to put in place. His analogy with playing golf is wonderful, something to remember. And buy his book. We'll share the link here on YouTube and on LinkedIn as well in the comments area. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. This is very helpful. And we will see you next time.